Hi, and welcome to another episode of Eyes Wide Open. Today's topic is going to be a two-part episode. We'll start it today and conclude it tomorrow. And it's going to be a continuation of this idea, another reason why it is so important to yearn for Moshiach. And the answer, in short, is because Moshiach is the purpose of existence realized. And as such, it shows God that we care about the purpose of existence, the purpose for why He created us, why He created everything, when we yearn to see that purpose of existence fulfilled. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the purpose of existence, and then tomorrow explore what that means as it relates to Moshiach. And it's a very famous question. Why did God create existence? It's not just a why as why did anybody do anything? Why did you make that tower? Why did you build that house? Why did you buy that car? God, why did you make existence? But it's a much more profound question when it comes to God. God lacks nothing, needs nothing. He is completely transcends, and everything is unlimited by anything, even the limits of saying that God is unlimited. There is no definition we can use for God. There is no box we can put in around God. Even these words I am saying, that there's no box you can put around God, that God is not even limited in the limitation of unlimited, don't apply to God. It's not possible to even talk at all about God. You can talk about things God does, but God Himself, there is no words that can in any way contain God. And if that's the case, so what need does He have for anything? So the Medrash gives a one-liner as an answer, a very cryptic one-liner, which there have been volumes written explaining what this one-liner means. And it is, in short, that God desired a home in the lowest realms. And to explore what these words mean, the idea of a home, a person spends over the course of a day, they find themselves in various locations. They might go to work, they might go to the grocery store, they might go to the gym. None of these places are their default. They're there for a purpose. They go to a gym to work out. They go to work to make a living. They go to the grocery store to buy groceries. And as such, the degree to which they are there is in as much as that part of themselves is necessary for what they need to do there. So, for example, a graphic designer at work will showcase their artistic abilities, perhaps the organized abilities, the abilities to handle pressure. But another part of their ability, they won't necessarily show. The passion for fitness has nothing to do with graphic design. It's not going to be expressed there. Perhaps the sillier side won't be expressed there. At a gym, you're going to express more your passion for fitness. You're not going to necessarily express your more artistic sides. And likewise, at a grocery store, you wouldn't necessarily express any of those. You're expressing some other part of you. Because in each of those places, you're there for a reason, and therefore you only express yourself in as much as it relates to the place you're in. A home is your default. A home, you're there as you are. Your home is where you are when you have no reason not to be at home. And as such, you're there as you are, exactly as you are you. In a similar sense, God, when He created existence, sought to express Himself and to express He as He is. God as He is completely unlimited even by the limitation of unlimited. All those things which we said are not even accurate to say about God. God sought to express that. And the question is, how do you do that? Because no matter what God creates, it's going to, by nature, not be a perfect expression of Him. It's going to be nothing compared to Him. Everything is a creation for God, is meaningless to God, is nothing to God. God's infinite wisdom is a creation of God. To us, infinite wisdom is something we can't even wrap our hand around. To God, it's meaningless. God transcends wisdom. Wisdom is no more meaningful to God than a fork. So if God's seeking to express He as He is, in what does He find an expression of that? So the first part of what the Medrash is saying that God seeks a home. God seeks to express Him as He is. How does He do that? In the lowest realms. So the only way for God to truly express He as He is in physical existence. And not just physical existence that seems to have no value, no meaning. Not only does it not express God, it seems to deny God. The most intrinsic natural feeling that we have is that we're all that matters. To the fact that we even perhaps didn't always exist is something hard for us to wrap our head around. The idea that there could be something else that's just as important as us, that we're not the end all and be all, is hard for us to wrap our head around. The idea that God created us is something you can understand intellectually, but it's not something we naturally intrinsically feel. On the contrary, what we feel in this world is that this world is chaotic, that it's a dog-eat-dog world, that darkness seems to always prevail. And it's a world that seems to very much deny God and go against the purpose of existence, and go and deny everything that God stands for. And when we reveal that none of that is true, that none of that is a facade, that all of that is a facade rather, and that this world actually is created by God, animated by God, and expresses God, then we reveal something very profound. Not that God is expressed in holiness, not that God is expressed in piety, something deeper than that, that there is literally nothing that doesn't express God. Intelligence, for example, is expressed in an idea. It's not expressed in water. Water is not intelligence. Creativity is expressed in art. It's not expressed in air. Air has nothing to do with creativity. Is there something that doesn't express God? The question isn't how to express God. Is there something that cannot express God? By creating the lowest realms, this is the second part of the Medrash, the lowest realms, creating an existence that is low, that is dark, that is meaningless, and showing how this existence is an expression of God. Then we don't just express God in the world, we express that there was nothing that doesn't express God, that in a world that gave us all this chaos and cruelty, expresses God. That is the purpose of existence, for there to be a dark world, seemingly dark world, a seemingly godless world, a seemingly chaotic and cruel world, and reveal that it's really beautiful, that really this world that seems to deny God expresses God. This world that seemingly is chaotic has a master plan. This world that is seemingly cruel is beautiful. And when we do that, we fulfill the purpose of existence, and that is the purpose of existence, to reveal how this world truly expresses God. And the final point of all this is that because it's all about a world that doesn't seem to express God, it doesn't work when God does it for us. It doesn't work when God is the one to turn up and say, you know what, I'm pulling the curtain back and I'm going to show you what I see when I look at existence, the master plan that I have, how this all makes sense. That's God revealing himself. That doesn't accomplish anything. It only works when we reveal itself, when existence comes to recognize on its own who it really is, when existence comes to recognize God, when we as human beings connect to God, not God force us to connect to us, much like a child who learning how to climb in a play structure. We've given this metaphor before, that a child climbing a play structure, if a parent takes them by the hand, what do you accomplish? It only works when the child learns on their own, which is longer and perhaps more painful, but that's what it's actually education. In a similar sense, the purpose of existence is fulfilled when we come to recognize on our own the purpose of existence, and we come to recognize our own inner purpose, both we as humans and we as Jews and we as people, and the existence as a whole. And tomorrow we'll translate what this means for Moshiach.